What's the biggest WTF gift you've ever received? When I was like 12, my mom's boyfriend gave me a holiday card with sexual themes in the text. My mom pulled me aside later and told me that he was almost illiterate and hadn't read it before giving it to me and to never talk about it again. A holiday card with sexual themes in the text. He was almost illiterate. You can't spell dyslexia without sex daily. Holy shit, that's a new way to spell dyslexia. Sorry, I'm a slow reader. I have sex daily. 16th birthday. Then girlfriend's dad gifted me a pair of sexy red lacy thong panties. I still don't know if he was suggesting that I sleep with his daughter, his wife, or him. Maybe it was one of those "whatever you do to my daughter I'm going to do to you" things. Well, then he owes me 2 years of unrequited feelings and a trip to Disney World. Edit, thanks for GERD. Kid stranglers. I think you should just settle for sex. When I was about 10, my little brother, only 3 or so, was very sweet and told my parents he had a present for me but didn't want anyone to see and wanted to wrap it himself. Christmas morning comes and I'm very moved by the shoebox-sized gift my little brother taped up as best he could and made my mom wrap for him. He excitedly brought it over and I noticed it was pretty light, but his eyes were giddy with excitement for me to open it. I figured it was a hand-drawn picture or something, and so I made a big show about being excited to see what was inside. As I started to remove the tape from the box, I noticed a little odd smell, but figured it was just because the old box was in the basement. When I finally got the lid open and my brother excitedly exclaimed, "Merry Christmas," I got to see what he was so excited about for the past 2 weeks. The box contained a dead hummingbird that had run into the window, an earthworm, and a few scattered saltines in case the worm and bird got hungry. Best present ever. But definitely WTF. I thought it was going to be ship. I thought he shat in a box and gave it to you. That'd be a badass brother move. For my bridal shower, my mother-in-law gave me an old bikini. How do I know it was old? The elastic was crusty. Gross. My ex-mother-in-law got me paper napkins for our first Christmas together. Not even nice ones. Off-brand cheap ones when she got everyone else expensive gifts. She also referred to me as her son's friend for the first 2 years of our marriage. Edit, I did not expect people to respond so much to this. So, to clear up some questions below. We were not a same-sex couple. And it was Christmas, not our anniversary. So the excuse of first anniversary being paper is moot. Our first Christmas wasn't anywhere near our first anniversary either. Also, we divorced after 3 years because he couldn't stand up to his horrible family's horrible treatment of me. It all boiled down to them being racist. They straight up told me that they would never accept me because I wasn't 100% white. I'm half Asian. Granted, I was a dumbass to even marry him in the first place with all the red flags when it came to his family. Over a decade after our divorce, he emailed me an apology. We still have a slightly overlapping social circle. He was on divorce number 2 at the time, and surprise, his mother treated his second wife horribly as well. The irony was, his mother would berate wife number 2 and tell her how I was so much better, and wife number 2 was 100% white. Ducking bizarre woman. Also, I'm remarried, and my current mother-in-law is a slightly different kind of awful. She's a Trump-worshipping, racist, religious fanatic, and she makes sure to let you know at every opportunity, but at least my current spouse stands up to her. My mill was a real battle axe. But we got on after I put her in her place a few times. She only understood pecking order. So I pecked extra, ducking hard. I had one of these with my Nana that turned into a ducking Hallmark life lesson. High school, 1998 or so. At some point in October or so, I mentioned casually during a visit that my bedroom was chilly at night. Come Christmas, I opened my gift from Nana, a space heater, as a teenager who was hoping for video games or CDs or other such things. I put on the forced smile rictus and thanked her for the gift while internally bemoaning all the loot that could have been. I must have been grossly unconvincing because she got a bit anxiously defensive. You said your room was cold. I thought it'd help out. Later that night we head home. I plug the space heater in when I go to bed because why not? My God, you all. The difference that space heater made. Actual ducking comfortable sleep for once. No waking up halfway through the night shivering. or getting shocked awake by my foot straying too far from out of the covers. The next time I went to her house, I gave Nana a giant hug and told her how much better my room was at night with that space heater, and gave her an actual genuine thank you. I didn't even mind the following: I told you it'd help. Ever since that Christmas, when I get something practical for Christmas from Nana, I thank her sincerely, because it will be useful. I still use that space heater 20 years after the fact. 2. A book called This Is Why You're Single. Thanks, Mom. Inside the cover was just a mirror. Christmas, 1993. I was 11. My grandma gave me one half of a pool cue. She gifted the other half to my then 8-year-old brother. Grandma, see, you can only use it if you two cooperate and share. We did not own a pool table. So which one of you tried to hit the other one with your gift first? Oh, they very quickly became lightsabers. You can be sure of that. This wasn't me, but it's a great story anyway. My very materialistic sister dated, and eventually married, a pretty rich guy. They met on New Year's Eve, so by the first Christmas they shared, they were together for a year. The whole first year he showered her with gifts and trips and all kinds of stuff, even paying for her education. He seemed like a great guy, but because he was a little weird and shy, my parents didn't meet him until that first Christmas. Well, he showed up with gifts for all. Really nice and thoughtful things. My sister opened hers last. It was huge box. Inside was another box. And another. That old gag with maybe 10 or 12 boxes. Well, we were all thinking, at the bottom there is a ring. He's going to propose. When she got to the final box, it was a single roll of toilet paper and a can of Campbell's soup. I just about pissed myself with laughter looking at my sister's dumb ducking face. One of the top 10 moments in my life, if I'm being honest. We never got an explanation as to why. It wasn't an inside joke or anything. Just a weird ducking thing from a weird ducking guy. I like him, maybe even more than my sister does, but my parents definitely think he's a weirdo. Edit, forgot to mention about 8 years after this I moved across the country, and my first Christmas without the family, he sent me a half-eaten box of stale Triscuits and a Ziploc bag of hair that had fallen off their cat. There was no card, but he wrote "Jews rule" on the wrapping paper with Sharpie. My reward for being the only member of my family to not shun him for his weird behavior over the years. Edit, here's a pic of my gift for the non-believers. A guinea pig. Just the guinea pig. No cage or anything. ETA, they gave it to me in a bucket. We kept it for a few months, then gave it to my cousins. A jar. When I was 12. I got a bunch of Tupperware for Christmas when I was 12 too. My parents thought it would be great cause I was the one who did the dishes. Spoiler. It wasn't. Edit, I would just like everyone to know that I still use the very same Tupperware to this day. It may have been a shippy gift, but it was still some quality Tupperware. I think your parents just wanted new Tupperware. When I was a kid, my parents used to wrap gifts and put them under the tree saying they were for my brother and I. But they were really just things they had recently purchased for themselves or the house. Thanks, Mom and Dad. I love the new kitchen dish towels. When I was in college, my sister gave me a Donald Duck cement lawn ornament for Christmas. It weighed at least 40 pounds. I didn't have a lawn. And I didn't like Donald Duck. She has an excessive amount of lawn ornaments in her yard. I suspect that she realized that she hadn't gotten me anything as she was getting into her car and just grabbed the closest thing. I gave it away the next year at an after-Christmas white elephant gift exchange. It was the best of the bad gifts. I appreciate the fact that you kept a 40-pound cement Donald Duck statue in your dorm for a year. I was given a large industrial light bulb, think of a cylinder the circumference of a soccer ball and about 15 inches tall, by my uncle. He told me it was worth a lot of money and would be hard to find another one if I ever needed one. Edit, found it in the garage and then online. Here it is. The light bulb that isn't as big as I remembered. He told me it was worth a lot of money and would be hard to find another one if I ever needed one. I'm sure it would be hard to find. And possibly expensive. But WTF was it for? And why would you need one? Edit, evidently for growing dank nugs, y'all. A cheese and champagne gift set that had the champagne and most of the other goodies taken out of it. So cheese in a mostly empty box. My mom last year decided she didn't want to go off of my Christmas list anymore because she wanted to surprise me. One of my gifts was a framed painting of 2 penguins. I was confused and it has been sitting in my closet for a year now. Book on tantric sex for me and my boyfriend. From my brother. I opened it in front of my mom and all my in-laws. Great-grandparents and teen cousins included. I think it was a sincere gift. You know your brother better than I do. But that seems like I'll give my sibling a sex book to open in front of the family and it'll be super embarrassing for them. I've been wrong before though and I'll be wrong again. You would think so but no. This was 3 years ago and he's never let up that he wasn't serious. I think it was a thoughtful, I know you two are having issues as new parents. Here's something that might help you reconnect and be happier together and as individuals. He's a very odd hippie duck but very sweet in his weird ways. My youth pastor showed up to my house on my birthday and made a big deal about the gift he brought me. I opened it and it was a dead squirrel he shot that day. Guy I worked with in community college bought me a pair of gorgeous diamond stud earrings. It was WTF because we had never spoken before that day. We weren't even acquaintances because we worked in different departments. He used this very expensive gift to ask me out. He asked me out for the weekend. At his place. His exact first words were, "You look like a woman who knows she deserves the finer things. Merry Christmas." It was July. Needless to say, I did not accept. He started arguing that he'd bought this beautiful gift and why wasn't I thankful? I tried to explain that buying a crazy expensive gift for someone who doesn't know you puts them in a very difficult position. One I didn't appreciate being put in. But he wasn't having it. My coworker who worked the desk with me had to tell him, with a lot of cuss words and a couple threats bless him, that the dude needed to back the duck down. That was the end of it for a while. Like 2 or 3 months. He never spoke to or bothered me again. Then I came into work one day and heard he'd been fired. A bunch of people were asking if I was okay and had he tried to do anything to me. I was freaked out and confused. I found out he had put a dead rat in the cabinet under where I stood at the service desk with a note that said something like, "Just reminding you what you mean to me." I'm paraphrasing my coworker's paraphrase there because they wouldn't let me read it. Anywho, that's the story of how I got offered a desk job in the back and a 75-cent hourly raise. Edit, lots of people commenting art nice guys. This is my official permission for someone to post it there if they want. I'm sure if I did I'd just look like I wanted karma. What did you think about this video? Did you like it? Please leave some feedback in the comment section below. You can always check out my other videos for more curated content just like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time.